Everybody. Bam! We're still reading The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, right? And let me tell you, this book is out here changing lives. So, the paradigms of interdependence is what we're going to be talking about today. We've left habit 3, we're going into habit 4, but before we get there, we got to cover a few things, right? So we're shifting as we go to the different habits, right? So one of the things that, this book is life changing. Let me tell you, if you take the time to really dissect this book, it will really change your life professionally, personally. If you're really trying to grow in leadership or just to become a better person, this is the book that you want to get. I mean, I'm learning to read these different books that are out there. And so far, this book, although it is clearly a textbook, it is something that you can definitely learn from. So what I like is that he says when you're getting to the point of the paradigm of interdependence, you've left dependence and you're in independence, but you make a choice as a independent person to look at life interdependently, where you look at life where I am my brother's keeper. I do want those relationships. Relationships are important for me to get to the other level. Now you can do it by yourself, but I don't know how far you're going to get in life by doing just things by yourself. So there's 6 major deposits. He talks about the emotional bank account, right? So your emotional bank account is a metaphor and it describes the amount of trust that is built in a relationship. So what I give to you, what you give to me, right? So I make deposits into your life. I can also make withdrawals if I'm offensive to you. That's what but I'm making these deposits and withdrawals into your emotional bank account. So he talks about 6 different deposits. He doesn't look at the withdrawals, but I'm just letting you know, if you can make a deposit in the same name, you can make a withdrawal in that same name too. So the first deposit is understanding the individual. Really seeking to understand another person is probably one of the most important deposits you can make, right? And when you make a deposit to another person, whatever is important to them is important to you, okay? Even if you don't get it, because that's your person, that's your people, that's you understand them. I get it because that's important to them. So I feel like I don't get it, but I get it because that's my people, right? That's understanding the person. The next one is attending to the little things. Let me tell you something. You could do a lot of stuff for me, but that day that I have been talking about, oh man, I have been looking for this blah, 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 and I just can't find it. And you run across it, or you was looking for it, or you take the initiative and say, you know what? Z said she wanted this, and this is my girl. Let me look out for her. Oh, it couldn't have been nothing big. It could have just been, I've been wanting it. I've been having a taste for a smoothie, and I've been saying I'm going to go to Smoothie King and had never got there. And then you yourself passed by and said, you know what? I'm going to get Z a smoothie. It's the little things that you be like, oh, they just made a deposit, right? Or they can take away the little things, and then there it is. The little thing. Like you did that for them. Why couldn't you do it for me? You put that blanket on them. He gave an example of his son, and how they had been out all day, and he did all these things for his 3-year-old child. But then his 6-year-old son was like, "You ain't look out for me, Dad." He was really offended. They had a good day and all this. You got to read the book, but it was just the little things. Like he really felt sad that his dad didn't think of him as a little person too. His dad saw him as a big boy. You don't need me to put a blanket on you, but he did. Okay, keeping your commitment, right? So keeping your commitment, you already know what that is. If you say you're going to do something, then just do it. You ain't out here telling people you're going to do something on the and I know that for me, sometimes I do struggle with that. When it's something big, but when it's something small, sometimes like going out or going somewhere, I'll be quick to say, well, I'm not going to go, especially if I know it's a lot of people going and I got to do something else. But you've got to, and I've got to have integrity to say, you know what? I know I said I want to go, and in my heart, I do want to go, but I just can't go. And that's what's important is you've got to be someone that said, if you say you're going to do something, you got to do it. Even if you keep commitments and everything, but if you were the type of person where it's time to get together and hang out, and then they know you ain't going to go. She always says she going to go, but she'll never go. That's me. You got to go. You got to hang out with your people sometimes, right? Or you got to tell them, you ain't going to be able to go. Clarifying expectations. Let me tell you something. This one right here, it is life changing. It is so important when you're beginning relationships, when you're starting a new job, that you know what your role is. If you are a single person trying to get into a relationship, you need to put it out there from the beginning. You don't just assume what they want, what makes that person happy, what their love language is. You don't assume that stuff from the beginning. You ask them. Now, a lot of people don't know their love language. I've talked to people and you're like, what's your love language? And they be like, well, then they'll say something like, my love language is spending time together. Or they'll say, my love language is, they'll say something that's not a part of the 5 love languages. And I'll be like, that's not a love language. But then I'll, ask them more questions and I'll get a chance and understand deeply about what their language is. But it's important to know what's needed. If you're getting ready to do some business interaction with someone, you want to find out what they expect from the meeting. If you're having a meeting with someone, I'm becoming more intentional about meeting with people that I care about, and so I'll schedule a time with them. And some of them have been like, "Why do we have to schedule the time?" Well, because I want to spend time with you, and I want to carve out this time. And you're busy too. So if you can carve out this time so we can talk together, and we don't have an end time, but we have a beginning time, then that will be good for me because I really care about you and want to do that. So some people accept that. Some people be like, girl, you ain't all that I got to schedule something with. Okay, well then, all right then. If you feel like I'm not, then you ain't either, and we'll do it like that. But, clarifying the expectations is so important. Showing personal integrity, saying what you mean. Okay, if you say you're going to do something, you need to be there. If you are a person, you want to be honest. He talks about going beyond honesty. Honesty is telling the truth. In other words, conforming our words to reality. Integrity is conforming reality to our words. So if it's something you say you're going to be, then you want to make sure that you do that. The last one is apologize sincerely when you make a withdrawal. Okay, so that there goes back to my struggle, right? When I say I'm gonna go somewhere and I don't go, because that's the only big thing that I do is I try to tell people I want to. Because I be wanting to go, y'all. I be wanting to hang out. I ain't hanging out, but I want to. It's just life has just changed a little bit, and I'm just not able to hang out as much as I would like to. And then if I see there's an opportunity to, anyway, I'm not gonna get into that. But whatever your thing is, you want to make sure that you can make that apology. That you're not just I'm not able to go, and that's it. No, you want to say, I know this is important to you. I want to make some time with you, and as a matter of fact, I got to reach out to somebody because I missed something. I have not made that up yet. So I'm going to do that. If you're listening, I may send you this video and then you're going to get a follow-up. Let's do whatever. But you got to make those apologies. You got to, be sincere when you make a withdrawal because it's the little things that mean something to someone. Some people be like, oh, okay, girl, I know how you are. It's all good. I ain't studying it. But some people be like, yeah, this is what I was really expecting you to be here this time. And so that can really impact the relationship. And what's so funny is in the story, in the learning about the 7 habits, the author said that you could interact with someone from your past. So maybe someone from high school, and wherever they were in your emotional bank account is where they stay. Whereas the new people in your life, they go up and down, up and down. You probably I don't feel like talking to whomever right now. But then this new person, this old person come in, and y'all ain't missed the beat. Y'all kicking it and cacking like y'all just like that just the last week, and you're entrusting different things to them because of the emotional account that they had prior to the separation. And that's the thing about life, and that's so funny. And you can look at this personally, and you can look at it professionally. When it comes to money, honey, you don't want to leave no coins on the table. So you have to be a person of your word when it comes to appointments, when it comes to those business meetings. You have to figure out how to make that time. So I just wanted to come before you guys and share this with you. And the last one, although he didn't consider this to be an emotional deposit, but he says the laws of love and law are very important, right? So and it basically says that whatever you sow, so shall you reap. And we already know this, but sometimes it's good to hear it. and to get a deeper understanding. So we're gonna be, we have to make sure that we incorporate these into our habits. So when we get into habit 4, and this deals with the public victories of life, because we've just gone from the private victories to the public victories. And so if you don't have a understanding of how to deposit into people's lives professionally and personally, then you're going to be missing out. If you cannot get yourself together and care about people and walk in integrity, then I don't know what's going to happen with you. Okay. So, but what you can do is read this book and get it together like me. I would love to hear your comments about this post. If you're reading the book, if you've already read the book, I would love to hear it. It seems like I would say about 70% of my friends have this book and never read it. So I don't know if you're someone that has this book and not read it, but get this book. Get this book and read this book. Don't have no books in your book collection that you hadn't read. Look, I got some, but let's do better in the upcoming year, okay? Talk to you soon.